and at the time of his death was perhaps the oldest Mason in Virginia trade. After laboring for 1 year, his health failed, and he went to South. Peace to his ashes.
So this is going to be the next. This is the next box that's going to go into the archive.
He first gave me this years ago.
Chris, what are you doing?
No.
Get her to talk with that Billy.
Here's a note.
Can you elaborate on that?
What, a brat?
Yeah, it's about what Billy and how he's.
He lets her have her way. With no shoes and no socks on, looking like who would have thought it.
Looking
Like
like
she was somebody's little long lost child.
Winona has not changed a bit.
I know. Well,
She is the same Winona that we've always known and loved.
Yeah, her same sweet self, right? Never says a harsh word to anybody.
That's not harsh,
Keeps
it's
all
just being
her opinions to
truthful. The little shoe sock on, and I don't know what that was she had. He picked her up off the street.
Wave, like a little wave.
yeah, like a little T-shirt, nothing thing on.
You realize, Winona, you're talking about
I'm sorry, I'm talking about your grandchild.
You're talking about my grandchild. Now watch your mouth.
That's terrible. That's terrible. I sure got a nerve.
And he should make her
He's
mom.
gonna have to make her mine. She's the boss of the house. Yeah, but it would be the other way around. I would be the boss. She probably has him wrapped around her little finger, you know. Daddy, I want this. Daddy, do that. Yes, baby.
I'm glad my kids weren't like that when they were.
Oh no! You know
That's
what?
all
I can think back about Chris. Poor Chris.
But he survived.
Yep, he's no worse for the wear and tear. She let you get away with stuff.
It would be, the worst.
You cannot, you can spoil kids, but you also have to let them know I'm boss, and there's certain things you can't do.
Mom, I don't know
And
what
that's
you
it.
want to do with those
But
flowers.
sometimes Grandma would want you to rub
Right
her
there.
feet and her corns
Where do you
and
want
stuff. So
That
that,
mother murder used to get on my nerves.
so I could not stand it.
There he is.
You know how many is it? Is it a dozen? So pretty.
Sure is.
Hey Susie,
Yeah.
you got some more of these books at home?
Yeah.
Bring me. What's it? Possibilities. Oh, that's Dr. Schuler's book.
Do you get that in the mail?
Thanks, where is everybody?
Address.
No, I like salad, you know, but I don't think I want to eat that. And I have to say, it is a good picture, but I don't know what happened to it. I have a big one that I keep but I had a small one in my pocket, and I was trying to find it for Rebecca the other day. I don't know, it must be in the other wallet. Some man came to the church, and we had something going on, and they took pictures, and they really turned out good. Because I don't like taking pictures.
Winona,
What?
can you do me a favor?
It all depends on what it is.
Just so like in April, the ape-like creature. Can you tell him what I?
What Chris was
Yeah,
like.
tell him
when
what
he
I was like. Tell him what her boyfriend.
What's that
was
word I can use for Chris?
In the ass.
I don't know.
No, not quite. A real nudge. You know what a nudge is, don't you?
Yeah.
If somebody bothers you all the time.
I think
But you know
Terry,
what,
I
Bill's
think
like a
Terry would
flea.
tell you he hasn't changed.
No, Billy and Chris did used to work together, because what Chris didn't think of, Billy would. But was more this one. This child was terrible when he was growing. I mean, and he really wasn't a bad kid. He was just enough to get on your nerves. And he's
still like
always
that.
and he's always into something. And whatever you tell him not to do, that's the very thing he would do. Chris, you can't do that. Why can't I? Because you can't, Chris. But I want to do it, but you can't do it, Chris. And then you turn your back, Chris would do it. You know, and then when it came to homework, oh my Lord. When it came to homework, it was like pulling teeth out of people. Chris, you got to do your homework. I'm not doing that. I don't like this. I don't want to do it. Okay, dummy, don't do it. You have to talk to him like that. And then he would tell you, one night he told me, I'm not dumb. I said, then prove it to me. I don't like school. I said, well, dumb people don't like school.
Well, you know,
I'm not doing this.
You know now why he didn't like it, because he was dyslexic.
I didn't know that. See,
Well,
probably
then,
that's what it was.
That's
we didn't
why
know
he
it.
didn't want to do his
Come
homework.
here. Oh.
And
But
that's
we didn't
hard.
know it.
That's hard, and that takes a long. It takes a while to find that out too.
No,
But he
He's
just
in the
didn't.
world,
He didn't
sixth
want to do.
grade.
What's this? What's 5 and 5, Chris? 9. I said, Chris, what's 5 and 5? I said, you got 5 fingers on each hand. How much is that? Oh, 10. I mean, this is what you had to go through with it. Spelling?
Okay, here.
That was this. Do you spell yet?
N-O.
No, now he can spell, but this dyslexia was the reason he couldn't
Yeah.
spell.
Do they ever cure them of that?
Yeah, they can make it.
How were you?
where were you
Were you
doing
around
all
when the
this,
dogs
Mom?
were around Mike and Mode?
I was around, but I was working.
We did have one dog. That dog used to get on my nerves. What's that little flat dog?
She didn't really have Patty when she.
Susan wasn't too bad, but this one and Chris.
Well, you were around when Susan was like.
Well, I'm gonna say I was there when Susie was a baby.
Remember the
No.
night when she had measles or
Yeah,
something?
tell
and
that
was real
story.
sick?
No, Susie had the trouble, the breathing. You know, she used to scare me. And I had a fight with Myrtle that night about Susie. I said, Myrtle, no, you can't do that. Yes, you can. Oh, no, I said, look at her, she's turning purple. I said, I'm gonna call. No, you can't do that. I said, Myrtle, are you watching these kids or I'm watching these kids? I said, I'm calling Pat. I used to fight with her all the time over Susie.
Well, I had
She
the
said-
measles or something.
No,
No, you did. No, there was one time, Winona, when she had the measles and it almost went into encephalitis. And she was real sick. She
I
had
don't know
a
what it
high
was.
fever.
Uh-huh.
And we put her crib in the middle of the living room.
Yeah,
And I slept on one side
Uh-huh.
on the floor and you slept on the other side.
Because we had to really
when
watch
she
her.
was she was like this, like Caitlin.
But no matter if Susie had a problem with breathing too.
I never knew that.
Yes, this was the case when Myrtle was there, then we'd have a big fight
What was-
like that.
What kind of breed?
I think before you had your surgery, you couldn't,
before she had her
you
surgery.
couldn't breathe deep, and if you got a cold or something, it would.
And see, that would be the problem. She would have a cold, and she couldn't.
Croupy stuff,
couldn't
and we
breathe
had to
good.
put you in the crib and make a tent over you. And
Oh, it was
gosh.
a real hassle.
Yeah,
You
she
know.
was good. This doesn't sound
No, but
good to me.
that wasn't her fault.
I know,
She
but
couldn't
it
help
still
that.
sounded like it
But
was
the
pain.
fault came in when I had to fight with Myrtle because if I go to put her in the, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. I said, Myrtle, who's taking care of her? I said, I am. I said, she's going in there. Well, I don't think she needs that. I don't think she needs that.
I used to be in that
Come
group
down,
tent.
Patty. Listen.
Well, you have to always
that.
put her in the
I
group
can
tent.
hear it.
Always have to
But
put
you
her
can
in
hear
the
her.
Where'd you sleep? Where'd you sleep?
Sometimes.
She lived there with us.
I lived
didn't
there,
know that.
and sometimes I would go home, and sometimes I just. Oh,
I know you watched
Susan even
this-
went home and stayed with me sometime, didn't she? Remember? She
See,
couple
well, I was
times.
a baby, so I
Yeah.
didn't know
Well, see, when
stayed
you was a
there
bit.
with
Well, Susie would follow me all over the place.
us.
You
No,
know?
no.
Yeah.
Okay, talk about
she would
that.
take. I could take her any place. She was a good
And
child.
I wanted to sit in your lap because you.
all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time.
Big
And then she-
pillows.
Hey, just like her, I pulled your I pulled your legs or something. And
Oh, she's a mess. Yeah, you
you
know
picked
what?
me up, right?
Now you really should have had video then because you would be killing yourself now because it was so funny how these kids and one was a little worse than the other. Like I say, Susie wasn't, but Chris, these two right here,
If I could hear her say that one more time.
these two right here, there was enough for just those
Jackie
two.
and Chris.
Jackie and Chris. And see, I wasn't around you too much. When I came around, you were a little older, so I didn't have too much about. But Chris, Susie, and Billy.
Oh.
But
What's a
And-
story that I went down? I was down at some lady's house and she made me a dress or something.
My mother made you
Your
dress.
mother-
My mother sewed.
her mother used to make you.
Yeah, but
Is
she
that
used to
that
make you
blue
dresses.
dress?
And it's a dress that you have on when you're on the steps, but just before you had your
Oh.
surgery.
Yeah. And that was a nightmare too. That was a nightmare because she was at what John Hopkins. Yeah.
You remember when I had my surgery?
Yes. Sure, it was right there. It was, but you all were so funny. I used
As a
to
matter
love-
of fact, you came and stayed while she was in the hospital.
Yeah, because the rest of them had to
Because
be
you took
taken
care of
care
the
of.
rest. She took care of the rest of them while you were in the hospital that week.
You know what, Winona? You really. I mean, you are so beautiful. I've just got to
Well, thank you,
say.
ma'am. Well, see, first of all, I like
Wait a
children.
minute, cut. None of this fruitcake stuff.
And then when I came, he comes running out the door, going, I missed you. So when I was getting ready, he said, you can't go. I can't go. So you can. I said, oh yes, I am
I
going.
just want to say
What, baby?
that you're beautiful.
Oh, that silly old kid. It's still crazy as ever.
Does she really like him?
Yeah, this is
Too Terry.
Must have to put up
because
with
Chris,
Winona.
sometimes you're hard to take.
Winona, she lets him live, Dad, so she
So
must like him.
maybe she must like him then.
And tell her what a wonderful person she is.
Oh, Terry?
Yeah.
Oh, Terry is a saint. Well, she would have to be to put up
I'm
with
gonna
him.
say to have him. What else could she be? No, Chris, we love you. We do. Yeah, we
Because
love
we've
you.
always had strange taste.
She was gonna say something like that. She said we had strange taste liking you.
I think that's very funny.
Well, laugh.
Yeah, I just want to say, Winona, you're beautiful, baby.
Jackie's totally different now, but he's still the same.
Oh, well, I'm gonna say, I want to
Jackie
say,
grew up.
Jackie, when they were telling me that, when your mother was telling me, I said, no, not Jackie. Because Jackie used to throw her clothes all over the place. And she said, now you're so neat. And I saw for myself
Oh,
today.
today the house was a mess.
Well, that's okay, but I'm surprised with you, because Jackie, have you ever seen kids hide their clothes under the bed?
Oh, yeah, I've
Under
seen
the
it.
bed, in the toy chest.
I can't.
Where are your socks? I don't know. And Billy used to pile his dirty clothes in the cupboard. I said, Billy, what are you putting your clothes dirty? I said, and the part that used to get me, the hamper sitting right there, and they have to hide the dirty.
Some people around here still can't find the hamper.
They put the clothes, dirty
Right.
clothes, under the bed and in the cupboard. Now, while they putting them under the bed and in the cupboard, they can put them in the hamper. And you're running all over. Here's a sock here, and there's a sock here, and then you'll say, Billy, where's your underclothes? I don't know. Then you go look in the cupboard, and you be pulling out all these underclothes of Billy's dirty ones he's stowed in the cupboard. I said, Billy, why you put them in the cupboard?
I remember one Sunday getting ready to go to church, looking for shoes. Somebody's shoes. I mean, it was a regular man. He had to search through the house, and we finally found the shoes in the toy chest. In the toy chest.
Anything you wanted to find, look under the bed, the toy chest,
Patty
or the
was
cupboard.
the best one.
Oh, Patty loved to hide
hide
clothes.
stuff under. You tell her to clean a room, that meant she went
Under
under
the
the bed.
And kids still do that today.
And that room that
Yeah, I
Billy
know,
and
they
Chris had,
do.
They had
I
dead
can't,
fish
we
there
can't.
that
I know
were
you can't now, but
petrified.
you
I used to put my games under my bed.
Everything goes under the bed. Now, I often wonder, what is so attractive under the bed? Everything goes under the bed.
can't see it.
I'm saying. Well, yeah, but you're running around looking for this sock. Here's a green sock, and you take your half an hour to find the other green sock, which is probably in the toy chest or in the cupboard. This is the way we have. And underclothes. Where your dirty underclothes? You didn't wear the same underclothes all week, but you can never find any underclothes, and then you go start looking around. Well, there's no sense of asking anybody, because the answer you get, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
So start looking in the toy chest, under the bed, or in the cupboard, and you would find the underclothes. And this one, she was really, Patty was really famous for hiding clothes. And when Jackie, how I used to get Jackie come home from school, I said, your school clothes, and put on something. Do I have to? I said, then I wouldn't have told you if you didn't have to. Then I'd have to go through a long thing about Jackie taking off her school clothes. And I can't remember, what was that? I can't remember too much of having trouble with Susie. I really didn't. Susie, I didn't have too much trouble with Susie.
What was her name? The princess?
Yeah, and they did. They called her the princess. They said,
Now I'm
she's
really
a
gonna be in
princess.
trouble. They're like gonna
The princess.
And Chris could say it real nasty. Princess.
He just did.
She get on my nerves. The princess. Everything. Susie don't have to do anything. She's okay. I was just telling him.
I remember him saying that. She doesn't have to do anything. And
Oh, he used to get
He
so
didn't
mad.
like-
You don't
That's
tell
why-
Susie to do
that's why he
anything.
didn't like
Susie
me.
can do anything she wants, but we have to do this and we have to. Poor Jackie and I.
That's
I
right.
said, we'll do it just the same.
Do you remember though? Bill used
Chris
to
and I have
sit.
some major.
Do you remember Bill used to sit at the head of the table where you're sitting, and Susan always had to sit.
Ugh.
And the
That's
boys
right.
would
Little
say,
girl.
and the boys would say, Dad, you know what Susan did today? Oh, my princess.
Yeah, and that would make them
He'd
so
say,
mad.
He'd say, you didn't do anything, did you? And she'd sit there and go, no, I didn't do
Listen,
anything.
Kristen and Karen, hug your mother now because She's not living
No,
too much
Billy
longer.
still has that say. Well, yeah, Susie. Yeah, Susie. But
Uncle Chris
she gets
never
away with
gonna-
anything.
She
And
just
Bill
sit
would
there
make
and
it
look
worse
all
by
innocent.
saying, "My little Susie,
My
little
sweet,
prince,
my princess
sweet little
didn't
pie."
do anything.
And what did he do that for? The more he would do that, the madder the rest of them would get. Yeah, Susie,
I
she
finally
never
told
does
him.
anything.
I finally told him. I said, "Look, Bill, you have got to cut this out." I said because these boys are going to kill her one day. They are
We
going
are
to gang up
tomorrow.
on her.
And
they're
he's
gonna-
probably like that with the little ones now.
No, he's
No?
not. No,
No, because they came all too.
too many
Too many
of them.
of
They're
it
too
to see.
overwhelming. For
But Chris, Susie, my little oh, you come in the house. Oh, how's my little princess today? What did she do today? And Billy, at one time, Billy even said, "Oh, you know what I mean?" I got something glad I had to turn my head left because Bill would come in this. How's my little princess today? And blah 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 blah. My little princess. And then he would sit at the table. What did you put his arm around? What did my little and
I don't
Billy
remember any of this.
Well,
I do.
Chris does.
It happened.
Come on.
Because a lot of times I used to think Billy used to hit her, and I think that's a lot of times why they would hit her because they was because Bill come in, my little princess, this, and my little princess,
Let's get her.
and and this one, I think if he could have took her down in the woods and beat her up, he just couldn't stand with Bill.
I probably just did that for effect.
yeah, but you were making a bad situation.
But you see, you were making
It
them
wasn't
hate
Susan,
her.
it was
wasn't
you.
Susan, really.
That's
it was
right.
you. 'Cause
Right
but
there,
see,
the
you know,
culprit.
sometimes you could understand
The
that was his
instigator.
first little girl. That was his first little girl, and that was Daddy's
little
little
girl,
girl.
56
How's
years.
Daddy's little girl today? Oh, he would just rub it in, and the boys would get so mad. And Chris used to say, well, you would think it's nobody else around here, but that's Susie. Boy, I think these kids were a mess.
Susan.
They were a mess. And sometimes you had to laugh at them, but not let them see you laugh, because it was really
about you and Grandma Doodle.
hard to get into it. Was it Myrtle Moore?
Oh, both
Moore.
of them.
Yeah.
They're sisters.
But Myrtle used to be the one. She just used to rub me the wrong way, because if I tell her,
Well,
why did she have to do that? I said, because I told her to do
do
it.
you remember the first time when she came out there and you were
She
there,
couldn't stand
and
me.
she thought you ought to eat out in the yard on the picnic bench? She didn't hear with you, are you? And we said, well, where do you think she ought to eat? You know.
Was I there? Yeah. That's where she belongs.
I vote for the picnic.
Outside.
And Chris would love for me to eat out and get out of his
Yeah,
hair.
put her in the
But
yard.
Myrtle couldn't
Let her
stand me.
sleep
She
there.
couldn't stand me. And I knew she didn't like me, so I used to rub her the wrong way. But I wouldn't start on her. She had to bother me first, and then I'd get her.
And I remember I'd go like, Grandma Merle, isn't that Winona a mean person? Yes, she is, Chris. She's.
Sometimes it was just like you picked on Chris. But Chris was a real nut. She really was. And then Myrtle, when she was there, she made it 10 times worse. I couldn't get them to do anything when Myrtle was there. Oh, he doesn't have to do this. They don't have to do that. I said, they have to do it because I told them. It's as simple as that.
I'm surprised you stuck around.
Well, sometimes she would really rub me the wrong way, but I didn't pay her any attention. You fell down the steps one time too, didn't you?
I fell it, yeah.
Yeah, she fell down the steps too.
I got my head
But doing
caught in
something
the
she had no
chair.
business
The
doing.
captain's chair. I stuck my head through it, and then I remember you were there.
Yeah, and I had to get that. I said, what did you do this for? And we tried to get her head out of this chair. What did you
I
do
think
this
Grandma
for?
Myrtle was there too.
Yeah. She said, oh, she would get so excited. Oh my God, look. I said, just take it easy. You can get. I said, she put it in there, so we'll have to be able to get it out. And she always made things 10 times worse than what they really were. She could take. You ever heard that old saying, making a mountain out of a molehill out of a mountain? That was Myrtle. If it was just a little thing like it, by the time she got through, she'd blown it up like that. And I used to say, Myrtle, calm down.
I don't think I ever did that when my mother was home. It was just when Grandma Myrtle, I think I did it twice, or
I
in
don't know
a
why
railing
she
one
did
time. I think I got my head caught.
She fell down the steps one time.
Was it you, Winona, that used to put the locks on the doors?
That was Grandma Myrtle.
No, honey, I don't lock up. I still don't do
Grandma
that.
Myrtle does that.
She used to do that.
That's right. She'd pay us to Woolworths and buy new locks. We'd take them off and sell her new ones next
But
week.
you know what? When you stop to
They
think
did.
about her now, she was funny. Funny.
She was.
Funny. She was funny. Because she had some queer ideas and things, but she was a funny lady.
Queer?
She used to do things and think she was gonna make me mad, but it didn't make
Mom,
me
when are we
mad.
going to Grandma's?
In a little bit. Where is that movie of Grandma Myrtle?
Grandma Myrtle, right before she died.
At Christmas morning, we all had on our sweats. Always wore a wig, and I don't think she had her wig on yet. So here she comes. Well, Chris came to the video thing, so he came, knocked on the door, and he was the, what's the guy that films The Rich and the Famous? And
That's right, the rich and the famous.
So he,
I remember that.
Robin.
Robin Leach, and he's going, and here we are at the home of Pat and Bill Jensen. And meanwhile, here we are looking like two homeless people too in our sweats.
Nice face,
And he
Grandma Myrtle.
came in, but Grandma Myrtle really looked the worst. So then what we did,
She
we
knew how to
said,
pull it off.
and so we threw a bag in her hand. We say, and we brought in this poor homeless lady from the street. Now we're going to fix her up. So then she went upstairs and got dressed and everything. And then she came down and we saying, look at this wonderful transformation. But we had so much fun doing that.
But you know, I don't know, when they two, Maude and Myrtle were
I thought
together,
you
see,
said,
I don't
let's
remember
change
Maude as
this-
much as that, but when
let's
those two
change
were
her to
together,
a
it was
Yeah,
so
something, yeah.
funny. You know, one would try to outdo the other.
Well, they never got along.
No, they never did. And one would try to outdo the other, and I used to look at them and I get so tickled.
But you know who's favorite? Who was Maud's favorite?
Chris.
Chris.
Chris, yeah. Chris was.
Oh,
Oh, because she used to get after me all the time. Why don't you let him alone?
That's
I said,
right.
If he behaves himself, I'll leave him alone. And I said, you mind your business. But
But
you
no,
always after him.
Chris was
What is it?
always her favorite. She always used to bring him those blueberry muffins with silvers with
And
them.
when she go out and buy candy, what was that
Oh,
candy
you
she
guys
used to bring
ready
him
to
all
go?
the time?
I don't know.
But Myrtle, Chris was her favorite. You knew it. On those certain times, you knew that Chris was her favorite because she would give you a fit. But I know she used to give me a fit. You're always picking on him. I said, I'm not picking on him. He's always doing something. Oh, he was a mess. I'll tell you. That Myrtle used to tickle me so bad. I would get so tickled at her. And she couldn't stand me, not one bit.
Let him not rub his hair off his.
Oh, what did she do?
Look at all those blocks down on the floor. These are nice kids. Look how nice they play together.
They're
Now, probably when they get around about your age, they'll start acting like you, Chris.
What's that?
Katie,
We'll have to give them
Come
to the
on.
gypsies then.
go play with Anthony. Go play with Anthony. Oh.